there, buddy? No, stay here, buddy. So welcome back to another video. In the other videos, I've been talking about how to make my property more sustainable. And today I want to talk about what I use to do to control insects. Behind me, as you just saw, I just hung a bird feeder. Yeah. Oh, there's Joey, my dog, and also my supervisor in all my videos and making sure I do things well. Anyway, behind me are the bird feeders I hang up, and I attract birds to my yard. I have regular seed feeders, I got a suet feeder, and I have a mealworm feeder. And by attracting the birds to my yard, I get a lot of insects that are taken care of. The birds will come. I throw some of the seeds on the ground, and so do the squirrels. And one note on squirrels, I love them. I think they're a blast. I don't care that they're in the feeders or not. To me, they're like little monkeys, and they're fighting all the time. It's just, to me, they're hilarious. But that's just me. Anyway, so we get some seeds on the ground, we get some mealworms on the ground. I actually purposely throw some mealworms on the ground to have the bluebirds, which I get a lot of, to forage for them, and then they forage for other insects and bugs and moths and different things like that down there. I also have a squirrel feeder on the ground to try to keep them away from the other feeders that I have up, so I don't have to constantly fill them, although I do keep them full all the time, as much as I can. So it really cuts down on the amount of bugs. It really cuts down on the ticks. I do put some treatment for Joey to keep the ticks off, but to be honest with you, there isn't many ticks that he gets a year, and I attribute that to the birds that are here. So it keeps my yard in balance. With the squirrel feeder, it actually brings in a flock of turkeys on a pretty regular basis, and they come through and they wipe out whatever bug is in the yard. They're constantly pecking at the ground, so whatever bugs around there, they annihilate. So I'm not saying I don't have bugs, but I have noticed that I don't have as many as some of my neighbors probably do, or no, they don't have very many bugs, but I just choose not to use the pesticides and things like that. I got a couple of small kids that live across the street. We got Joey. We got a neighborhood full of kids. So, just to kind of take that out so nobody gets sick is something that I'm very mindful of. So, the other thing, I get to watch the birds. I mean, if you look, they're right next to my house in the morning. Whether it's birds or squirrels fighting or something, it's always entertaining. It's fun to watch. So yeah, as you can see, probably a squirrel coming at one of the feeders right now. Anyway, the other thing is some of the things I get to see that I normally don't see, like a flying squirrel that we have here. I guess they're nocturnal. I saw one last night. I've never actually seen one in Michigan, so it's been pretty cool watching that. So yeah, so it's been really cool. So this is the way I control bugs in my yard.